Hello, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your Maker 2199 bringing you guys another commentary slash tips and tricks, I guess. So I'm gonna share with you guys a few tips or one major tip on this match, and one of them is not just my aim and the easiest way to work on your aim, and this is a tip that comes from a few MLG pros. The easiest way to work on your aim is not necessarily to bump it up or practice at a certain aim a lot. Of course, if you do that, if you practice a certain aim a lot, you'll get better at it eventually. But the biggest tip that I've seen from MLG players and big players like that is to have a low sensitivity. It's so easy to control and maneuver a low sensitivity compared to a sensitivity that you barely just blow into the trigger or your your joystick, and your character does like a 360 or whatever. That sort of sensitivity is crazy and doesn't make any sense to me. Now, yes, you can make the argument watching me play on some of these games that I could higher it a little in a few situations, but I think this is the best sensitivity that I've been able to find so far. It's the one that has yielded me the best results for this game, and I'm just gonna say it, I really don't like how the sensitivity on this game has worked. I don't think it's as refined as other Call of Duty games. So that being said, I want to talk about the actual tip that I wanted to give you guys. That was a little tip, hopefully it'll be a big tip for some of you guys, hopefully. But and for those of you that already knew that, then oh well. There's no sort of magic in here. Most of the tips get repeated constantly, and that's because it works, right? So the other tip that I have for you guys is to strafe. Now, a lot of these fights and stuff like that, sometimes I don't want to move my joystick that much, but if I am not off by a lot, I'll just strafe towards the side that needs fixing. It's a lot easier for me to do that than to adjust my aiming joystick. And I know that might not make sense, but just try it out and you guys will see what I mean. But the strafe is a really deadly weapon, and especially on this Call of Duty that we don't have none of that jumping baloney stuff. We're not rabbits anymore, apparently. So strafe is one of the biggest things that we can use for this game, and it's really effective. It's awesome. Like right there, that guy couldn't shoot me because I was strafing like crazy left and right. So as long as you continue to strafe and get people like that, they won't be able to shoot you as effectively and or kill you as fast, obviously. But your strafe has to be pretty mad or sick. You really have to have a good strafe. It's not just about moving an inch or two left or right. There is some technique to it. And your timing has to be awkward to the guy that's trying to kill you. But as you guys can see, I'm just strafing, and I'm not sure if I died because he shot me or if it was bombs, because I think the bombs that were landing there were my teammates. So he could have just been that good that time I encountered him. But yeah, keeping a good strafe, it's so difficult for, like right here I had no bullets, somebody else was shooting me, but they couldn't really land because of the little strafe that I had going on, which is pretty funny at a certain point. You guys will find that is the better you get at strafing, the harder it is for you to die or get killed by your opponents, unless they just have an amazing aim, and or unless you get it like I did, that was stunned or whatever, concussion, and I couldn't really move. But other than that, it's not that easy for them to kill you, and you'll be able to kill a few more of them. And as you guys can see, I'm pretty much keeping my aim centered at a spot, not really adjusting too much my aiming joystick. I'm mostly relying on that strafe movement to square me off with the person that I'm trying to shoot. So I hope that makes sense. That was pretty much a tip that I wanted to give you guys, and this is a little bit more of an advanced tip than your usual beginner tips that I usually give. For some of you more experienced players, yes, it's not probably the biggest tip, or it's probably not something that you didn't already know. But for those that aren't that experienced or whatever, or had never heard something like that, well, now you know. So just give it a try, practice it. It takes time. Everything will take a bit of time. Now it shouldn't take you way too long. If it's taking you way too long, then it's probably not, the way for you guys to go. But it does take some practice and some getting used to, especially if you're not a strafing person and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. So if you go and try it, don't expect to be good or perfect at it right away. Like I'm telling you guys, it's gonna take a little bit of time. So that is pretty much the tip that I had for today. There is not much more that I would like to add to this one, so I'm just gonna end the commentary there. You guys let me know if it worked, if you knew it, you didn't know it, what have you, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you. Bye.
Hardpoint is being overrun. Need reinforcements. Enemy recon aircraft in the air. Hardpoint location confirmed. Enemy care package observed. Deny them their resupply. Hardpoint is being overrun. Need reinforcements. You fought well under pressure. This victory will be remembered.